everybody, and welcome to the news and views with the EV Café. 30 minutes of what's happening in zero-emission transport with expert analysis from the EV Café crew, brought to you this week in partnership with Everything Electric, coming from the London Excel from the 28th to the 30th of March, and featuring the EV Café Village. Oh yes, we are gonna be there. And today's little rays of sunshine are, in no particular order, Sarah, pretty in pink, Paul, looking gorgeous in grey.
Very good.
And Sam. Anyway, it's actually now, it's Sam's birthday and he is beautiful in blue. So I wonder if we could all have a quick happy birthday in the comments for Uncle Sam, because it's funner.
I thought you were going to sing.
No, we've been there before.
Let's sing.
Done that. It doesn't work. But happy birthday, mate. How old?
That's very presumptuous to ask that question, but I am 43.
Indeed.
I think.
43 and doesn't look a day over 50. Well done, mate. Lovely. And you've got plans, I understand, working, and basically more working.
Alas, today, yes, but the weekend and next week, I'm going to have a few days off. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well earned. And Paul, you're just back from Barcelona, I understand.
Barcelona. Yes, see. It was it was a great trip to see the new vehicle that is replacing the old street scooter. It's now Bion is the company that they've renamed, and they have launched a vehicle. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say the name of it yet. Anyway, it's the official
street scooter will be fine.
Well, no, Bion, yeah, Bion is the name, and then there's a new name. So the official announcement comes out on the 18th of April, just the week before the commercial vehicle show, which of course we're all at, and so there'll be a video launched there. But yes, very good.
Oh, commercial vehicle show.
Commercial vehicle show.
We'll come to that in just one moment. Sarah, you're at home today, and plans for a little holiday at all?
Yes. North Wales this weekend, and then back down in time, Everything Electric on Thursday the 28th. Why is it Exterminate Dalek?
I love the Dalek. Yeah. Exterminate off to North Wales. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Happy birthday, Sam. Hope you have a funner time.
Right, grab a cuppa, plug in to what's happening in zero-emission transport this week. And coming up, motoring groups dismiss claims that the weight of EVs are to blame for Britain's pothole crisis, which means, being a fatty, I'm off the hook. Thank goodness. DFDS are to order 100 more Volvo e-trucks. It's the largest company fleet of heavy electric trucks in Europe. The Army could be the new silent service as it develops tactically quieter electric vehicles with a low heat signature. Unlike Paul Kirby, he's just hot.
Hot, baby.
Is there money in the post, Paul?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Excellent.
Good. That's ruined Sam's day. Excellent.
Stop vomiting, Sam. All-Star customers have gained access to Tesla's supercharger network, and EV charge point funding worth 185 million has been made available to councils, which is fabulous news. But first, we have a cheeky little video about the upcoming and aforementioned commercial vehicle show. Paul, prepare to froth and roll the tape.
Hey everybody, for the first time ever, the electric vehicle ecosystem is going to be on display in the form of the EV Café Village at the Commercial Vehicle Show, or the CV Show as we like to call it.
The CV Show is the place for fleet managers to see, feel and experience what it's like to love an electric commercial vehicle. And you can see us too!
Come and see Iveco's award-winning van on our EV Café stand, joined by Drax Energy and also Spiri. Will all be on hand to answer any questions that you have about transitioning your commercial vehicles to EV.
All are available right at the heart of the commercial vehicle show with masses of innovative manufacturers of vans and trucks. Also, don't forget to take in one of the seminars where you'll be brought bang up to date on the ever-changing world of commercial vehicles.
We look forward to seeing you there on the 23rd to the 25th of April. Sign up from the link in the comments below and come join us because it's fun and it's free.
Well done, Sam. Now, the line was, it's free and it's funner. What's he like, honestly? Anyway,
Can I also just say thanks, Johnny, for your contribution.
Yeah, he was in the office, wasn't he? Really quiet. Well, that's not as bad as mine. I was going up the escalator and it was the best take I'd done, but then a load of armed guards came down and made a massive racket, so I couldn't even use it. Stupid.
Right.
I mustn't steal anymore.
Let's get cracking. We're going to break out the Fudbusters now. And I think this is the collective name that we all need to undertake. We are all Fudbusters. The motoring organisations, the AA, RAC and Faircharge have hit back at claims that the weight of electric vehicles is responsible for a decline in the quality of roads. According to the latest annual local authority road maintenance survey, cleverly named Alarm, by the Asphalt Industry Alliance, more than half of the local road network in England and Wales is reported to have less than 15 years structural life left, with the amount needed to fix the backlog of carriageway repairs increasing to a record high of £16.3 billion. Following the publication of the report, some national media outlets have blamed the deteriorating road network on heavier electric vehicles and larger cars, which they say are helping push Britain's crumbling roads to a breaking point. This despite the fact that the Alarm survey didn't mention electric vehicles at all. According to one report, EVs cause twice as much stress on tarmac because they greatly outweigh their petrol and diesel equivalents. There's only one person we can go to on this, and that is the legend that is the Nigel Farage punching Sam Clark.
Wait. Do you mean the one person in the group who didn't realise off the bat that the Tesla was the same weight as the petrol diesel car he was talking about in the first place? How the hell does that make Sam the authority? He completely forgot the statistics.
Anyway, Sam, electric vehicles being much heavier than petrol and diesel vehicles. Go.
I'm outraged by the fact that I didn't know how much Nigel Farage's car weighed live on television. I'm very sorry. Next time I'll try to do better. It's not the cars, is it? The vehicles are, if you look at the top 10 most heavy vehicles that have ever been produced, I think 2 of them are electric out of the 10, if my memory serves correctly. One of the reasons why the roads are struggling is because all vehicles are getting heavier, and they have done for year after year after year. And we're putting a lot more trucks and heavy goods vehicles on the roads than we ever used to. And that's all of us to blame because we are all buying more stuff online. And therefore, there is a significant increase. And I pulled a statistic that I've been using actually for this piece on my wider EHGV work, John. And that is to say that HGVs, the ones that are normal traditional ones, have got much more efficient over the years, like all electric vehicles have. All combustion engine vehicles have. Their efficiency has got better and better over time. However, due to the amount of miles they now do and the loads that they now carry, despite all of the efficiency gains since 1990 to 2021, the efficiency gain has been 1% overall because there is so much more volume of heavy things on our roads. So to tarnish the brush with it's all the EV's fault is nonsense.
Yeah.
Rant over.
Well, I was just going to say that in particular, the commercial vehicles, the weight hasn't really changed because the maximum weights are still the maximum weights. There is allowances a little bit, but these have only just been scratched the surface on, and so a 40-ton truck can go to 42-ton trucks, but a 44-tonner has to stay at a 44-tonner. It's a max, and every weight category has a slight increase. But they haven't been used yet. And the van world, it's still 3.5 ton for the vast majority, with a very tiny number at 4.25. The cars have got, obviously there's more cars on the site, but there's 37 million or so, 38 million, I forget the actual number, of cars on the road, with just 5% of them being electric, less than that. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense.
One would assume, Paul, though, that the maximum payloads might not have changed, but the amount that people are carrying are probably being pushed closer to that limit than before.
Oh, sure, yeah,
presumably.
they're maxing out. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
maxing out. That's definitely happening, and I've got across diesel, every form. Yeah, the weight of the vehicle has grown, but through Euro 6 and Euro 5, every time the weight grew, the base core weight grew. So payload has always been under pressure. So the max weights are always run at. Yes, much more often.
Sarah, you get around a bit, apparently. Potholes. Where are they worse? Is it that there's a national problem and all roads are affected equally? Or do you find that the West Country has less bother than somewhere like Scotland, where we have those fluctuations of temperature, which are extreme?
Fluctuations in temperature and environmental factors, yes. Also budgetary spending, predictability. Gloucestershire is famed for its terrible potholes because we also do get quite bad weather. But the thing I was going to say about from a statistical analysis standpoint, there's no other way to measure this. There was never any analysis over what the other OEMs were going to produce in terms of vehicle weights if the electric revolution never happened. So to all of your points, we may still have just as heavy cars on the road that are petrol or diesel at this stage versus electric. That's number one. The other thing is about moving around more. Are we increasing our annual mileage more? Therefore, are the predictable lifespans of these tarmac roads invalid because we've surprised ourselves with how many miles everybody is now doing versus what they predicted when they laid down the asphalt in the first place? And yet again, it's just scapegoating, isn't it? So it's I'm pleased that these answers all reflect one another's views. But wow, this is the sort of thing that my neighbours text me on Facebook quite regularly.
Yeah, well, we need to keep FUD busting. Good effort, people. Now then, should we say hello to some of our fellow FUD busters? Sam, steady. Dev Chakravarti from Walton-on-Thames. He wants to have a happy, funner Friday. Thanks for getting that one in, Dev. You were first in at 9:57. Good work, my friend. Mark Elliott, good morning. Helen Holden. Interesting story from you, Helen, this week about the e-Vita, which is an electric wheelchair accessible vehicle, or EWAV, for which I'm indebted. You sent that through to me. It's a brilliant looking vehicle. It's on LinkedIn, and I will try and repost that. Brilliant piece of kit. I did try to get the video of it for ourselves, but sadly couldn't obtain it quickly enough. But great job. Thanks for getting in touch. Toby Hiles, always wonderful to see you. Dull and overcast in Hartford. Not with you there, darling. Thomas Edwards, Karen Moore from Europe Car. Hello, Ben McDonald. Who we got? Mark Elliott, Sarah Slow, Matthew Ling from sunny Suffolk, Lloyd Allen from Bristol, Ashley Bannister, Christian Borman, Marv, the marvellous Marvin Samuels, Sam, wake up, Ashley Bannister, hello, Steve Hamer, hello, my darling, Martin Ale from Quello, oh, that's nice, Tom Middleditch, hello, gorgeous, Ben McDonald, Ursula Perry from the wonderful Greenfleet. Now then, Sarah, you were at the Greenfleet event yesterday. Pretty good, wasn't it?
It actually was. I was really pleased, and thank you to Colin and Ursula and the whole team for putting it on. It was called Greenfleet Live, and it was about sort of your fleet strategy and how to deploy. But it was really well placed because it wasn't sort of from scratch. It was those that have already done and is learning and passing on knowledge. So I have to say, I did learn a few things, and the people in the room were the sort of influential decision maker, experience types. So whoever you spoke to, you learned something, which was great.
Really indebted to Matthew Ling there. My EV is 57 kilos heavier than my previous ICE vehicle. My friend, I have a leg that weighs that much.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, our next story is one close to my heart because my son-in-law works for DFDS, and the Danish Transport and Logistics Company has placed another order for 100 electric trucks from Volvo. Previously, DFDS has purchased a total of 125 heavy electric trucks from the Swedish manufacturer. Indeed, 95 Volvo electric trucks are currently operational in Sweden, Denmark, Lithuania, Belgium and the Netherlands, with the remaining 30 due to be delivered during 2024. The new electric trucks will be deployed in 9 markets across Europe, including the UK, Ireland, the Netherlands, Belgium and Sweden. The trucks will be of the updated and more energy efficient models of Volvo FH Electric and FM Electric. And DFDS currently has the largest fleet of heavy duty electric trucks in Europe and is well underway to reach its target of having at least 25% of the truck fleet electrified by 2030. Zero emission trucks are a here and now product, aren't they, Sam?
I mean, it's just great to see, isn't it? It's coming. It really is like a like a truck down the road. It is coming, and it's fantastic to see. I mean, at the moment, this stuff is news, and it's legitimately news because, well done DFDS and well done Volvo. They have been at the forefront. Volvo Trucks have been at the forefront of this now for some time. And the amount of hours and years they would have spent preparing for the moment whereby they're able to get on the front pages like this and be able to sell their vehicles. I think, fair play, well played to them. And it is news, and it's really important. But I think this is going to be the greatest of accelerating of sectors that we'll see in the EV community. I think, trucks are here; they're arriving. The UK's got to catch up, and we're working on that in terms of orders of vehicles placed in the UK. But it's growing at a phenomenal rate. And my point being, I suppose, this will soon no longer be news because all of the logistics and haulier companies are going to be doing the same thing. And that, when it's not news, then we've made it, because then it becomes mainstream, like all the other vehicle types are becoming more so as time moves on. So yeah, really, really well done DFDS, well done Volvo, and it's fantastic news.
I had a conversation with Sarah at 9 this morning, and we were talking about how electrification has become part of almost business as usual, Sarah.
Yeah.
Strategy, in fact, making sure that you're planning well ahead, making sure you're communicating effectively up and down the stakeholder food chain, making sure that you're aware of the technology out there. And more importantly, on this story, what I really like is learning from our cousins, our neighbours across various countries, because they're all at different stages and they've all got different pressures. I had a fascinating conversation with South Africa, thanks to a partner friend of mine, who revealed to me they've got completely different problem, but they're still going for it anyway, but just in a different way. So learning from others means you can completely leapfrog and get ahead.
And Paul, would you agree with Sam that the EHGV market is the one to really watch?
I do think it's an important sector. I think Saz's point about learning from the rest of Europe, the people that are going for it, and to Sam's point that it's happening on the continent but not here. So one of the things that is a challenge is, of course, the money. They are significantly more expensive, and the total cost of ownership model can work. There's no doubt about that. But that sort of headline of maybe 3 or in some cases 4 times the cost of the initial vehicle is a challenge. In Germany, however, not so big a challenge, because they have got some sizable subsidies, depending on the regions, that are really supporting this. And it's essential to kind of learn from what's going on. But I think the EHGV sector is one of real interest. There's a lot of really good things happening. I do think that the ZHID trial and these sort of bigger purchases will be sending out a message and getting people to kind of go, really? Can it actually work? Because it's tricky. People need to see it. And get bums on seats and experience it. So we're, Volvo doing a great job, Renault doing a great job, Scania, Mercedes. We're seeing all of the major manufacturers come with product that actually blew us away. I was at the IAA a couple of years ago, or about 18 months ago, and it's back again this year. Some incredible product on the market, and that we're now seeing the reality going on the road. So it's fabulous.
I was talking to a Cabinet Secretary for Transport this week. Don't like to drop names, so I won't. But we were talking about how important it is to subsidise these emerging markets and to help the SME sector especially to be able to make the transition and be supported. And frustratingly, I was suggesting to her that we might want to look more horizontally at financing so that we're able to take some health spend, for instance, that we're saving as a result of moving in the long term towards cleaner transport, and use that to pump prime these emerging markets. And she said, no, we're not doing that. And that really disappointed me, because there's a genuine financial cost to not making this transition in terms of people's health and well-being, which frustrated me and saddened me a little bit. Anyway, there we are. The Army is electrifying, and its electrification of vehicles as part of Project Lurcher, which I think is an unfortunate name, but there we are. It's designed to lower the carbon footprint of the service. However, the project's technical lead says the operational benefits are the primary motivation. Land Rovers are commonly seen where the British Army travels or camps, and reducing their noise and heat signature was key for Corporal Brian Muntz from the Armoured Trials and Development Unit. He told Forces News that primarily it's all about the actual performance benefits: straight line speed, safety travelling downhill, reduced thermal and acoustic signatures, and increased exportable power to unlock novel mission systems are all being examined as benefits over combustion engine use. To quote Homer Simpson, EVs, is there anything they can't do?
That's brilliant. Someone meme that up. Please make that into a meme as soon as possible.
I think he was referring to donuts at the time, but there we are.
That's fine.
Donuts. Is there anything they can't do? But it's right, isn't it? I mean, we've got EVs now. We used to say there were specialist markets, Paul, and there were places that EVs couldn't go. Really?
I think range is a concern for everybody, right? And that's been the thing that people are bothered about. But when you look at all of the other benefits for an electric vehicle, so let's take a vehicle like the Monroe, that vehicle can pretty much drive underwater. It doesn't need one of these exhaust things that comes out there. It can literally drive underwater, and you think, well, hang on, there's got to be some benefit in that. Not necessarily you want to go and be driving underwater, but they're going into areas where the other vehicles can't go, that diesel vehicles will fail, combustion engine, and of course that element of quietness and the other bits and pieces. Electric vehicles have immense capabilities, and it's just the challenge of infrastructure that has surrounded them up until now that will limit in some cases, but the army are really getting their heads around this, and they go big and go. They don't go home; they go big. They just get this shit, get this that done.
Oh dear!
Oops. Sorry.
Apologies, everyone.
Apologies. Beep. They get it done, and good for them.
Well, let me spare Paul. I'll take over from you, Paul, so you can de-red yourself. Yeah, the thing about the army, of course, and these sort of military operations is they take their infrastructure with them, right? So whether what's key on this is the bit that he hasn't mentioned. Well, he has mentioned, actually. I think he did refer to it. Was the mobile element of needing to take energy with you. So the battery storage and the mobilization of that battery storage to be able to put into those vehicles and then keep them moving. But they would have to do that with fuel anyway, because they don't pop down to the nearest petrol station every time they go out on a mission, do they? So that the fact that they've got a mobility and a logic of being able to move the infrastructure along with the vehicles means that it makes perfect sense for these things for all the reasons that are explained. So I think it's a cracking idea.
And Sarah, we'll be able to see that technology with Iveco when we're at the commercial vehicle show, with power takeoff, being able to power ancillary systems. It's just brilliant, isn't it, to have that energy on tap as well as within the vehicle.
Yeah, hats off to them. A great demonstration piece. And rather than repeating what everyone said, you're absolutely right. They take their infrastructure with them, and they have a really unique set of challenges. Local government and central government were the first to be forced to transform 25% of their fleet by 2025. They were a forerunner for everything we're now experiencing, and that includes the emergency services here in the UK. But these unique models, yesterday we saw a brand new one that's a bit like the Monroe, actually, MW Motors, made in Czech Republic. And he, being the guy who runs the company, made a really good point that people are so fixated on the range of these vehicles rather than the use case and type. And these are for agriculture, forestry, and also desert environment, where the terrain is so different that the torque can be applied according to what you're going over. So your range is quite very long. And if you put it on the motorway, to quote him, it's got the aerodynamics of a brick. So you will not experience the range that you want, but it was never going to be used like that in the first place. So once again, right tool for the right job in the right place at the right time. This is a very exciting movement with very niche vehicles coming forward. And I'm so grateful because we're not trying to ram square pegs into round holes this time.
Christian Borman says that armies and everybody already benefiting from electric dirt bikes. I think that must be Sam's new
Great
nickname.
point.
Moving on.
I don't know why, but there we are. Anyway, Allstar, one of the UK's leading electric vehicle expense payment companies, has announced that Allstar Charge Pass customers can now pay at Tesla superchargers across the UK. Allstar Charge Pass customers can now access over 1,300 ultra-rapid chargers in more than 135 Tesla supercharger locations. Whilst every Tesla supercharger is open to drivers of Tesla vehicles, those customers with non-Tesla vehicles can also take advantage of over 400 chargers on the network, and this number is growing. Customers simply simply need to download the Tesla app, regardless of their vehicle model, and input their All-Star EV card to review all available charge points and pay for charging. That's really clever, isn't it? I mean, where you've got mixed fuel fleets, to have that one system where you can use electric, diesel, petrol, it must make life an awful lot easier. Paul, do you come across it a lot? I know Power have similar sort of provisions for electric vehicles and aggregating.
The fleet space has been dominated really by All-Star for as long as I can remember. In fact, one of my very first jobs, I was delivering cars for PHH All-Star in 1990, a long time ago. And they've always been in that fuel card space. So they've really been on this journey, and they get the world of fleet and to bring electric into that. And I know that they've got app support as well. It makes for such a positive experience where the bigger fleets don't have to change. They don't have to do anything. They can just adapt what they already do and the invoicing systems and processes. So it's a good move from All-Star, and I think the tie-up with Tesla being the first, I think, aggregator to secure the relationship with Tesla to be able to use their Charge Pass card on that Tesla network is quite some feat.
Sam.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, but bear in mind that the legislation is changing, right? So if you are a public charge point manufacturer, you will be obligated to have at least one roaming partner on your network, which might be one of the reasons why Tesla's decided, or perhaps to a certain degree, is enforced to share their network more broadly. What made me smile, though, is quite often I charge my Tesla at the GridServe chargers, and someone knocks on the window and say, you can go use the Teslas over there. Now it's going to be the other way around. People are going to be charging more prevalently on the Tesla superchargers and going, that's an ID3 that you need to charge over there. I can just, but that in some respects that's not just an amusing thing for my brain, but also the fact that it will change the perception of Tesla superchargers as not being a niche just for Teslas. And whilst they've been open to allow other people to charge in certain locations around the UK for a while now, this changes the game again, I think, and then so that Tesla superchargers become more of an open network people recognize. And if it helps sweat the assets out there and increases everyone's utilization, then we're not short of demand. So I'm all for it.
Just must call out Matthew Ling's comment. He just said, Liz Allen, great bit of kit.
Yeah. Punctuation required.
Yes, we need a comma, Matt.
That's so good.
Or not.
No, I'd agree with Matthew's first
Term of
iteration.
endearment.
all that context, isn't it?
Indeed. Dedicated funding worth over 185 million is being made available for local authorities to help speed up the deployment of electric vehicle charge points across the country. The government continues to deliver its 381 million levy fund to councils, which can choose where is best to install charge points in their local area. Following the approval of the first 5 local authority applications in February, payments to 44 additional councils from Torbay to Tees Valley worth over 185 million have now been approved to help residents charge their vehicles. The funding will support the delivery of thousands of charge points across Scotland, helping more drivers get from A to B easily and supporting families in making the switch. Government funding, always useful. Sarah, we've seen a lot of government funding over the years. Is this the right application of that 185 million in your view?
Yes, I mean, it's been coming a long time. I really lost track of it because it felt like it sort of went under then up again, and here it is now. As always with local authority deployment, I've always been fearful of closing that gap between public and private, right? You've got lots of private investment coming as well as now this public investment. And what worries me is I know they're under such stringent, strict rules about what they can and can't deploy. And from my perspective, that consumer experience of how people pay for their charging and making sure that there's ways and mechanisms to make that charging a little more comparable to the cost that they would have paid at home, because it's great that there's a location to charge nearby, but that price disparity is still going to be huge. So once again, it's thinking about the private driver versus the fleet driver, and I'm hopeful that this will be a nice way that the fleet can feel more confident about the take-home vehicles. So yeah, always good to see it happening. And as you know, I've got lots of local authority connections and respect, because it's much harder to deploy. So outsourcing wisely to partners you can trust and scale with is probably the best way. But I just hope that's enough money to do that, and you won't just get stuck with partners who don't give you top notch for your local residents.
Now, next week, we may have a little bit of a challenge because we're all at everything electric on Friday morning. So we're going to record a little something special for you because that's how we roll. And we might even try and do something live, but, let's see how we go. It depends on networks and all that kind of stuff, but fear not. The EV Cafe News will be back next week. Paul?
Well, it's Good Friday, isn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good Friday because I'll be with you.
Yeah, indeed.
So come and see us at the XL in London next Friday if you're about, Thursday, Friday and Saturday at Everything Electric. And thank you to all three of you. If you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. And people are and do. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from my lovely team. This has been an EV Cafe production, brought to you this week in partnership with Everything Electric, the aforementioned, coming from the London XL from the 28th to the 30th, featuring the EV Cafe Village. We've got exhibitors, we've got partners, we've got things you ain't never seen before, and we've got cake, because it's her 4th birthday. So come and get cake. Other sustainability news services are available, but this... it's just funner! The EV Cafe is truly blessed to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europe Car, Plug Me In, Paythrough, Iveco, Zaptec, Spiri, Hydrock, Interval, Allstar, Dynamon and Drax Energy. With the EV Cafe, accelerating the transition to zero-emission transport. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, wherever it takes you. Sam, enjoy your birthday. Have fun. Until next Friday. Bye!
Bye.
Ashley Bannister's coming.
We